we rejected, if you had mentioned that you would be asking this question, I would have come with a printout of the PF rules of engagement and the Tonse constitution, and I would have outlined for you to say this particular item in the PF rules of engagement was accepted, this was accepted, this was declined, this was declined. So it is not everything in their so-called rules of engagement that was adopted. So what the PF leaders should do is educate their members to say it is not each and every provision of their so-called rules of engagement that was actually adopted.
That does not seem to be consistent with what is happening now, and I'll demonstrate why. Right now, your acting chairman is Honorable Given Lubinda, who is the acting president of the Tonse Alliance. My question earlier on was, the position of chairmanship of the Tonse Alliance, the person who assumes it must come from the Patriotic Front and must hold the PF presidency.
No, that is not correct.
Why then is Lubinda holding the chairmanship?
So, the background to this matter, Mr. Mansa, is that when President Lungu left the jurisdiction on the 21st of January 2025, the vice chairman of the Tonse Alliance, who is Professor Dan Pule, was the acting chairman. Okay, he's the one who was acting chairman, not through appointment, but through following the provisions of the Constitution, because the Constitution of the Tonse Alliance does not give power to any individual to appoint another individual. No, it doesn't. So anyone who comes to you and says, I was appointed by that one, you should ask them to say what provision of the Constitution gave that person who appointed you power to appoint you. Because before you are appointed and before you come out say, me, I've been appointed to this position, the person appointing you should have that power, isn't it?
Yes.
Me, tomorrow I can't wake up and issue a press statement there and say, I'm the new Minister of Finance. And then people ask me, who appointed you? I say, Mr. Andrew Mansa. They will say, does Mr. Andrew Mansa have the power to appoint you? So it has to be someone who has power to appoint you. So the only time that I can wake up tomorrow and say, I'm Minister of Finance is if Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who is the president now, appoints me, isn't it? Yes, the same thing with the Tonse Constitution. A person cannot come to you and say, I was appointed by Mr. Lungu as chairman. The Tonse Constitution does not give any power to the chairman to appoint the acting chairman or any other position. Positions are appointed by consensus and resolutions of the Council of Leaders. You understand? So, I was giving you the background. When our chairman, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, left the jurisdiction on 21st of January to go to South Africa, he left the vice chairman. Not him appointing him, but he left him there because the Constitution provided for the vice chairman to be the acting. Yes. So Dr. Dan Pule, Professor Dan Pule was the acting chairman. And he was acting chairman, I think we held about 3 meetings where he was acting chairman. Nobody questioned him because the Constitution clearly provided. And those meetings were attended by all the individuals that might now be going around giving contrary positions, including the Secretary General and the Vice President of the Patriotic Front, Honorable Given. They attended those meetings chaired by Professor Dan Pule. No one questioned that. However, sometime in around 28th, if I'm not mistaken, around 28th of February 2025, Professor Dan Pule had to travel to India for medical attention. Okay? He had to travel to India for medical attention. So at that point, after he traveled to India for medical attention, both the chairman and the vice chairman were out of jurisdiction. Okay? So now the question is, what does the Constitution provide when the chairman and the vice are not there? Article 3 of the Tonse Alliance Constitution is very clear. It says, that's why I'm saying if you had told me you would be asking these questions, I would have come with these documents so that I can read them to you. It says that if the chairman and the vice are both unavailable, then the Council of Leaders shall elect one among them to chair a particular meeting. Okay? So you meet as a Council of Leaders, and someone will be nominated to say this one is being nominated as the chairman. If there are more than one person then we are going to do an election. If it is just one, then they'll go unopposed. That person is the one who will chair that particular meeting. Not as a standing acting chair, no. There's no provision for standing acting chair. You chair a particular meeting. Again, when we convene again, if people are interested to stand as chairman, they'll raise their hands. If not, then one person who is available will go unopposed. That is the constitutional provision. So, when we had a meeting when both the chair and the vice chair were out of jurisdiction, Honorable Given Lubinda offered to chair the meeting. And there was no one else who was interested in chairing the meeting. So he went unopposed. And then another meeting again was convened. Again, he went unopposed. I think we held about 3 meetings where he went unopposed. And he was chairing the meetings. You know, in the Tonse Alliance, we are more focused on achieving the ultimate objectives as opposed to this, you know, minor power struggles, who is chairing, who is what, because resolutions are made by the entire Council of Leaders. So whether you chair or you don't chair, it doesn't make you more powerful than others per se. So even these squabbles of who chairs what, I see them as being petty and unnecessary from my personal point of view. Yes.